up, you guys? It's the Curious Owl here, and welcome to my first video for Top 5 Wednesday. So if you don't know what Top 5 Wednesday is, it is a Goodreads group created by Lainey over at Ginger Reads Lainey, and every week they give you a certain kind of topic or prompt, and you choose your top 5 books that fit that prompt. So this week's theme is to create a top 5 list for covers that make you want to go to the places where those covers are. So based on the cover of a book that you have, do you want to be taken to that place that is on that cover? If you do, it may be on your list. So let's get started with mine. Coming in at number 5 is the house on the cover for House of Dark Shadows. This is the most least likely out of the 5 that I would go to though, because if you've read the book and you watched the book review I did on it, it's a pretty scary house, and just kind of looking at it from the way that it is, it's really dark, it's really creepy, and the book doesn't really do it much justice. The house is very scary, there's a lot of things that go on in there, things go missing, people go missing, they don't really usually come out of wherever they go, so it's a pretty scary place, but it's supposed to be a really old house still, and I really do like the structure of a lot of old houses, so that's really kind of more the reason I would want to go there, is for the historical value. Coming in at number 4 is the cover for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. This book, I can't even begin to tell you how amazing I saw this. I did a book review on this one as well, and I don't know, this little girl on there just seems really creepy but really inviting for some reason, and I love the wooded area that it is kind of surrounded around it, and I don't know, just something about this little girl makes me kind of want to just come to her, especially since she's freaking levitating on the cover. So I don't know, just something about this really kind of drew me to her, but still probably not the most likely place I would go, honestly, but still fairly interesting. The next place I would most likely go to is the little place on the cover for The Tenant at Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. I almost totally forgot her name. One of the Bronte sisters. But yeah, so this one basically it looks like a really pretty study. It's really just beautiful, and I love, you know, the kind of grayscale color it has with the pop of blue with the armchair, which you guys can't really see, but I can see. Then the colorful flowers that sit right here on the table. It just looks so peaceful and someplace that I would just want to go sit and actually read, which honestly, this is probably where I would read. Like, this would be my favorite place to read in a house, because I love being able to look outside and see like a beautiful, like serene area. It's just so calming, and just the cover of this just makes it seem so soothing and inviting. Coming in at number 2 on my list is the cover for the selection by Kira Cass. Now this one is more so kind of a vain kind of thing for me, because I have always wanted to be in a princess ball gown and go to a ball, because in America, we don't have balls. And my number 1 pick for covers that I want to be transported to is the cover for Sphinx's Princess by Esther Freisner. This is a book that I read a long time ago when I was probably like 13 or 14 years old. And the reason that it is the top of my list is because this cover is placed kind of more of in an Egyptian landscape. And I don't know if I've said this before on this channel, but I have had a love for the landscape and the history of Egypt since I was a little girl. From when I first watched the Mummy movie that was brought out in 1999, I have fallen in love with how Egypt looks and the history that is behind it, all of the pharaohs and the goddesses and all that kind of stuff. This book, just the cover on it makes me just want to go to Egypt so much, because it looks so beautiful, and it's all about an Egyptian princess, and I don't know, just it just reminds me of a time when I was much younger, being so fascinated with Egypt, and it just reminds me that I really want to be able to go there someday and actually travel there and go through the archaeological areas that are in Egypt at the time at the pyramids. But there you guys go. That is my top 5 list for covers that I want to be transported to. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys have read any of these books that I have mentioned, and if you haven't already and you want to look at some of the reviews for these books that I have actually mentioned. I do have book reviews for 4 out of the 5 of these books. I don't have one for Sphinx's Princess, because that was a book that I read very early in my young adult life, when I was about maybe freshman in high school, maybe 8th grade time. So I don't have a review for that, but I do have reviews for the other 4 books in this top 5 list. So if you do want to go check out those reviews, you guys can go check them out in the links below in the description, or in the little thingamabob that's up here in the right hand side, the little I button. So anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below to subscribe to become an owlet in our flock, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys!